And good evening, folks. Wanted to do a silver update. Got some interesting things going on right now. I wanted to point out. Um, what you are looking at here is a chart overlaying the price of silver over the euro. Um, I think I'm going to show you a bit in a bit here. I think the technical picture for the price of silver is shaping up, but we're seeing continued pressure on the price of silver. You can see it right here, and it's related to what we're seeing is a coordinated attack on the euro coming out of the United States. The reason that I say that is that we've seen since last May the essentially bankrupt Wall Street cabal has been one by one individually attacking European nation sovereign debt, and by doing this they're able to weaken the euro, and by in so doing strengthening the dollar. This is having a fairly negative pull on the price of the precious metals. You can see if we move farther out on the chart, they're starting to track. They had diverged significantly when silver started its run-up back in November, and the euro fell off. But of late, the two are tracking each other fairly closely, as you can see. Now, what's going on right now is all related to Portugal. And this is a news article that was posted yesterday. There's more today. Portugal has successfully raised euro 500 million in a treasury bill sale, but had to pay sharply higher interest to attract investors, fueling fears its borrowing costs could spiral and force it to follow Greece and Ireland in seeking a multi-billion-dollar euro bailout. Now, if you remember the Greek bailout, this whole scam that went on in Greece, that was set up by Wall Street, the criminals at Goldman Sachs, worked out a deal to create fraudulent reporting requirements for Greece to enter into the euro. Subsequently, gave them a vehicle to attack the European Union and pump up their worthless dollar. And as we go on here, we can see the average interest rates of 3.7% on the T-bills was close to twice the 2% rate Portugal paid on similar bonds in September, and was up from the 0.6% it paid a year ago, as investors continue to demand a higher premium to risk their money on more indebted countries. Okay, now let's think about this. Investors are getting an interest rate to risk their money on these indebted countries. What is the interest rate that investors are paying to invest in the indebted $14 trillion, soon $15 trillion indebted United States? What is the interest rate they're getting? Nothing. It's like near zero. Why? Why would the T-bill rate be near zero? Well, okay, because the United States isn't doing what Portugal's doing. Portugal is actually borrowing money from investors. The United States doesn't have any investors. It's printing the money. It's buying its own bonds. Therefore, it can set the interest rate to a ridiculously low price. If we didn't have the ability to print our own currency, we didn't have the ability to buy our own debts, then we would have to be paying some of these interest rates. And if we had to pay these interest rates, then we'd be bankrupt. So, as you can see, I think what we're seeing is a coordinated attack against the euro, against Portugal, the next one of the pigs that the Wall Street pinstripe bandits have selected for their attacks using their hedge funds. And they can coordinate these all around the world and take down sovereign debt as they choose. And so we're seeing this impact on the precious metals markets. I don't think it's going to last much longer. It may. Silver, let's set up the chart here, the one we look at the most. We'll redraw the trend line. We're still below it. And You can see our MACD here is rolling over nicely. Usually when they're this low and they roll over, they tend to go back up, but these are strange times. A lot of sovereign debt wars are going on. The other thing about the EU debt is that a lot of people don't know this, but the EU debt is actually being gobbled up by China. So here it is. Portugal is expecting help with its debt problems from China. So China is coming in. This is a big, huge strategic weakening of NATO. So these are gigantic geopolitical battles that are going on here behind the scenes. It is affecting the price of silver, but not really that bad. We may get a lower price soon in the future, or we may rally from here. But just wanted to point out that impact and just keep stacking.